Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to my channel, Gardening in Cold Spring Harbor. For those of you who are new to my channel, I'm in Long Island, New York, Zone 7A. Potato planting season is finally here. We plant and grow our potatoes from something called a potato seed. And in today's video, I'm going to show you how you can make your own potato seeds in very easy 5 steps. Garden centers sell potato seeds. However, seed companies sell potato seeds for as much as $5 to $6 per pound. Purchasing a potato from a grocery store and then making your own potato seed from it can save you so much money. Potatoes cost as little as $1.50 to $2 per pound in a grocery store. And it is super easy to make your own potato seeds at home. So you'll never ever have to spend another penny at your local garden center. So for those of you looking for an online gardening channel, which offers tips, tricks, easy yet proven gardening advice to take your home gardens to the next level. Don't go anywhere, guys. Stick around with me today. Start with going below this video and clicking the subscribe button. If you are enjoying the content of my videos and want YouTube to send you notifications every single time I'll upload a new garden video, don't forget to click the bell icon as well. Now come with me. Let's get gardening. You can buy potatoes at a grocery store and make your own potato seeds at the fraction of the cost of purchasing ready potato seeds that seed companies and garden centers sell to you. But before you can plant your potatoes in the soil of your home garden, you have to make them sprout or chit. And in today's video, I'm going to give you very easy, very clear, yet proven instructions on how you can make your own potato seeds from grocery store bought potatoes. And you can grow any potato variety that your heart desires. Now, without any further ado, let's jump right into these steps. Step number 1 is purchasing and picking the potatoes. So what should you look out for? First and foremost, make sure that the potatoes which you purchase at a grocery store will be organic. Why? Because your conventional potatoes most of the times are treated or sprayed with growth inhibitors versus organic potatoes which are not. If the potatoes are treated with a growth inhibitor or with any other chemical, your chances of those potatoes sprouting are very, very slim. What is that? Step number 2, after you picked out the potatoes from your grocery store. That step number 2 is to inspect your potatoes. You want to make sure that your potato is clean. It doesn't have any cuts, any bruises, or any visible sign of fungus or disease. Now that you are inspecting your grocery store bought potatoes, anything that looks like this, which is a bruise, or even like that, if you see any visible nicks or cuts on your grocery store potatoes, those are the potatoes which you do not want to sprout or grow in your home garden. Any visible sign of a bruise or a cut is a possible fungal disease. And those potatoes are less likely to grow in the soil of your home garden. Potatoes are such a versatile crop and they're such an easy crop to grow. They will grow about anywhere, even in a pot or a grow bag. Now that we picked our potatoes out, we inspected our store-bought potatoes for signs of bruises, cuts, indents. Now that we are sure that our potatoes look absolutely intact and perfect, what is that next step? Step number 3. That step is to moisten our paper towels, any paper towel that you have in your home. You want to make sure that the sheets of your paper towel are damp. You do not want to squeeze it and have water run out. You want to make sure that it's just damp. You place your potato inside this moist paper towel and you wrap it up like this. And you do the same thing to each and every single one of your potatoes. Why? Because this moisture in your paper towel is what's going to provide the needed humidity to your potatoes. What is that next step? And that step is number 4. That step is to find a bag, but not just any bag. The bag must be perforated, meaning it's going to have all these tiny little holes throughout the entire bag for maximum airflow and air circulation. If you cannot get a hold of a perforated bag, you can always use a burlap bag as well. However, when you purchase your potatoes or even onions or even yams or sweet potatoes in a grocery store, most of the time they're sold in these perforated bags to prevent potatoes or onions from rotting away. So I always like to save these bags for gardening purposes. Now that we have our potatoes wrapped up in damp, moist paper towels, we found our perforated bag for maximum airflow. What is that next step? That step is to place all of our wrapped potatoes inside the bag, like this. And now I'm going to share one secret, one trick with you guys that's going to help your potatoes sprout much, much quicker. And that trick is adding a whole onion inside the bag as well. No need to peel the onion. In fact, keep the skin on your onion. The ethylene gas inside your onion is what's going to help your potatoes sprout much, much quicker. Now that our potatoes and our onion is placed inside our bag, what is that next step? The next step is to place our bag with potatoes and an onion near a window, but not just any window, guys. The window must have indirect sunlight exposure. You do not want to expose your potatoes to too much bright, direct sunlight. So indirect sunlight. The key to having our potatoes sprout or chit is to make sure that they're kept at temperatures of 70 degrees Fahrenheit, which is the same as 21 degrees Celsius. So usually while we store our potatoes, we always keep them in a dark, cool place with as little moisture or humidity as possible. However, when we're trying to sprout our potatoes, we're going to break all those rules. In fact, we're going to place it in a sunny location with indirect sunlight. The damp paper towels, which was going to cause the humidity. And then there's going to be plenty of airflow circulating through our bag. When we are storing our potatoes in our homes for the purpose of consuming them, we are always told to keep them away from onions, any kind of onion, even when we're storing them in a refrigerator. Why? Because onions have lots of ethylene gas in them. Ethylene gas is exactly what helps potatoes sprout or chit. So we're storing our potatoes for the purposes of eating them, cooking them, consuming them. We always avoid having sprouts or chits on our potatoes. In fact, most of us, when we see those sprouts or chits, just tend to throw those potatoes away thinking that they're no longer good. However, for the purpose of sprouting, chitting our potatoes and making our own potato seeds, we're going to break the onion rule. We're going to keep the onion as close as possible to our potatoes inside our perforated bag. In fact, the more onions you will place in each of your bags, the faster you're going to get your potato seeds. Every potato, regardless of the coloring, the sizing, or even the variety, has something called eyes. Here's a very clear example of what eyes look like on a red potato variety. Here is a very clear example of what eyes look like on a Yukon Gold potato variety. So now the sprouts or the chits start growing from these eyes on our potatoes. So the more eyes your potato has, the more sprouts you're about to get. In a matter of short 2 to 3 weeks, you're going to go from this, which was our store-bought potato, to this, which is a perfectly sprouted potato seed. Now, many of you fellow home gardeners might be asking, do you need to chit or pre-sprout your potatoes prior to placing them in the soil of your home garden? The answer is absolutely no. You can plant your potatoes just the way they are without chitting or pre-sprouting them. However, by pre-sprouting your potatoes inside your home for roughly 2 to 3 weeks, you're giving your potatoes that huge kick start that they need, which means you're going to get to harvest your potatoes 2 to 3 weeks sooner. Now that 3 weeks are up, we took our sprouted potatoes out of the bag, out of the dampened paper towels. Now let's talk about what we want to be seeing. What should we be looking out for? First and foremost, your pre-sprouted potato should have multiple sprouts on each of the potatoes, like this. Each of your pre-sprouted potatoes will have various amounts of sprouts or chits on it, and the location of the sprouts or chits will vary from one potato to the next. Now, are all of our sprouts the same? Absolutely not. Let's talk about what kind of sprouts you want to be looking out for and you want to be seeing on your pre-sprouted potatoes. This is an example of a perfectly pre-sprouted potato. Why? Because the sprouts are nice and short. Here is another example of a perfectly chitted or sprouted potato. You could see that the sprouts are even and they're short in sizing. That means that these potatoes were exposed to perfect amount of sunlight, perfect amount of humidity, and perfect temperatures and airflow. Now that we have looked at some examples of what a perfect potato sprout or a potato chit should look like, they should be nice and short like this one or like this one. Now let's look at an example of what a potato sprout shouldn't look like. Here is a very clear example. You could see how stretched this chit or sprout is. This is a very good comparison to a leggy seedling. This is a great indication that your potato was not exposed to enough indirect sunlight. This is what a potato looks like when it sprouts in the darkness. So this sprout is stretching, looking for the much needed sunlight. Now that you have multiple pre-sprouted potatoes, the next excellent question that many home gardeners might ask is, do we plant these potatoes whole or should we cut them into multiple potato seeds? An answer to that question depends on the sizing and the weight of your pre-sprouted potato. If your pre-sprouted potato is large enough, at least 2 ounces or 50 grams in weight, then yes, you could cut them. Smaller sized potato seeds, anything that looks like this or even smaller, anything that weighs less than 2 ounces or 50 grams should never be cut and should be planted as one whole potato seed. Now, if you are cutting your potato seeds into multiple segments, you must make sure that each of the segments that you will make will have at least 2 sprouts on it. If you're going to end up with less than 2 sprouts, then you should not be cutting your potato seed all together. The rule of thumb is 2 eyes or more per potato seed. Even though your potato seed might look large enough, might be over 2 ounces in weight, you should always first inspect your potato prior to cutting it into multiple segments. Just because it is large enough doesn't mean that you can cut it into segments. This potato is a large potato seed. It weighs much more than 2 ounces. However, it only has 2 sprouts on it all together, no more sprouts. So I wouldn't be able to cut this larger size potato into multiple potato seed segments because of the lack of the number of the sprouts. If you are cutting your potato seeds into multiple potato seed segments, make sure that you use a clean perforated knife, and once you make your cuts, you never plant your potato seeds right away. You must let them sit there and scar. You must let the cuts heal and callus. Because if you plant your potato seed with a raw, open cut, you're asking for fungal or bacteria to enter your potato, hence causing damage to your potato plant's growth. This is it for this video, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me here today in my home garden in Long Island, New York, Zone 7A. In today's video, we spoke about how you can make your own potato seeds in 5 easy steps from a grocery store-bought potato. For those of you who enjoyed the content of today's video, if you found today's video to be useful, helpful, informative in absolutely any way, don't be shy, guys. Show me that support by clicking thumbs up below. Leave your comments in the comments section as well. Let me know, do you make your own potato seeds? If so, what potato varieties do you prefer to grow in your home garden? For those of you who haven't yet subscribed to my gardening channel, Gardening in Cold Spring Harbor, don't wait any longer, guys. Do so today. Super easy for you to do, super pleasing and rewarding to me. Just go below this video and click the subscribe button. If you are enjoying the content of my videos, if you find my gardening videos to be useful, helpful, informative, in absolutely any way, and want YouTube to send you notifications every single time I'll upload a new video, click the bell icon as well. Stay healthy, happy, be well, each and every single one of you. And happy gardening, my fellow home gardeners, and I'll see you again in my upcoming garden videos. Bye, guys.